Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is shaving a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Rich Forrester had weathered storms that would have broken weaker men. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared him for the tidal wave tearing through his chest. Ash stood in the Forrester mansion, eyes blazing, voice shaking, breath unsteady, staring at Brooke Logan, the woman he had loved, lost, forgiven, and rebuilt 1,000 times, only to feel the foundation crumble beneath his feet once more. The silence between them felt heavy, suffocating, a vacuum of truth waiting to explode as Ridge gripped the back of one of Eric's antique chairs, Knuckles' white jaw clenched, heart pounding in a rhythm that felt like betrayal itself. While Brooke stood across from him with trembling hands and eyes shimmering with tears she could no longer hold back. It began with a rumor, then a whisper, then a document slipped anonymously into Rydage's office at Forrester Creations. A DNA summary missing the patient names, but containing numbers that made his stomach drop. It took only one quiet confrontation with Finn, who had unknowingly reviewed lab samples, to connect dots. Ridge wished he could unsee. And when the truth finally hit, it hit like an avalanche. The baby Brooke told Ridge had been conceived during their reunion. The baby Ridge believed was the final glue to repair their fractured bond wasn't his. And worse, Ridge now knew exactly who the real father was. Nick Marone, a name that still made Rydage's chest tighten with memories of rivalries, heartbreaks, and battles fought years ago. A name Ridge believed belonged firmly in the past until today when Destiny resurrected it to tear apart everything Ridge thought he had rebuilt. "He's your son," Ridge finally roared, unable to keep the words inside any longer. The sound reverberating off the mansion walls like thunder. Brooke flinched as how the truth itself had struck her, shaking her head rapidly, eyes widening in fear, sorrow, and the guilt she could no longer outrun. She stepped forward, voice cracking as she whispered, "Ridge, please let me explain." But Ridge cut her off, stepping closer, his voice trembling with pain deeper than anger. "Explain. Explain what, Brooke? That you lied to me again? That you let me believe me? That I was this child's father when the truth was one conversation away? That you looked me in the eye every day, every night, telling we were starting fresh? That this child was a sign, a blessing, a miracle meant to reunite us? While knowing that the father was Nick." His voice broke and Brooke's tears finally spilled over, rolling down her cheeks. Ash reached for him. But Ridge stepped back sharply as though her touch burned. "Ridge, it wasn't like that," she cried, voice shaking. "I didn't mean for it to happen. I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't even know at first." But Ridge interrupted, rage and heartbreak merging into something raw and agonizing. "You didn't know, Brooke. You always know. You always make choices and expect everyone around you to bend, to adjust, to forgive. Because that's just Brooke. But this is different. You lied about a child. My entire future, our family, built on a lie you let grow for months." Brooke sobbed harder, hands trembling, trying to find her words. "I thought he was yours at first. I truly did. But when I found out he wasn't, when I realized, Nick, that night, that mistake." Ridge slammed his hand on the table, making Brooke jump. "A mistake you hid," he barked. "A mistake you let me raise as my own while knowing the truth would destroy me. How could you, Brooke? How could you let me fall in love with a child that wasn't mine? While Nick Marin walks around free of any responsibility, how long were you going to hide it? Forever? Were you ever planning to tell me?" Brooke's knees buckled slightly under the weight of his words, and she whispered, voice barely audible, "I was scared, Ridge. Scared of losing you again. Scared of tearing our family apart. Scared of watching you walk away because of something I couldn't undo." Ridge stared at her with disbelief. "So, you chose fear over honesty. You chose the lie over our marriage. You chose to rob me of the truth." Brooke wiped her tears, shaking her head desperately. "I didn't rob you of anything. I was trying to protect you. Protect us. Protect the child from chaos." Ridge laughed bitterly, tears burning his own eyes. "Now protect me, Brooke. I would rather drown in the truth than live in a lie you crafted. You've done this before, hiding things, keeping secrets, hoping the storm will pass if you smile through it. But this time, Brooke, this time you didn't just hurt me. You shattered every piece of trust we had left. Brooke took a shaky breath, inching forward slowly as though approaching a wounded animal, whispering, "Ridge, look at me, please, I never wanted this to happen." Nick, Andy, whatever happened between us was not love. It wasn't betrayal of the heart, it wasn't something I wanted. It was confusion. It was a moment of weakness, and I regretted it the second it happened. I wanted to tell you, but then I found out I was pregnant. And Rich, held up a hand sharply. "Don't," he said quietly, voice cutting like glass. "Don't stand there and ask me to understand your choices. You didn't give him the chance to know. Not then, not months later. Not when you held that baby in your arms and let me believe he was his father. You stole that truth from me." Brooke broke into sobs. "Ridge, please don't say stolen. I love you. I didn't want to lose you." "You already did," Rich said softly, and the softness hurt more than the rage. The room fell into a heavy silence. Anne Brooke felt the weight of his words like ice water running through her veins. "Ridge, don't do this. Don't say that. We can fix this. We always fix things. We'll always come back to each other." Ridge shook his head slowly. "Not this time, 'cause this isn't just a mistake. This is a child's identity. This is a father's right to know. This is months off deception. This is too much." Brooke's breath hitched in her chest as she whispered, "So that's it. You leaving?" Ridge looked at her long and hard, eyes clouded with devastation. "I don't know what I'm doing," he admitted. "But I know one thing. Nick has a right to know this child is his, and I will not be part of another Logan secret." Brooke's sobs filled the room as Ridge walked past her, his shoulder brushing hers lightly as he moved toward the door. And she felt every inch off that distance like a knife. "Ridge," she cried, falling to her knees. "Please don't walk out. Don't leave me. Don't dot his to our family." Ridge paused at the door, turning back with eyes full of pain. "Brooke, you did this," Hugh whispered. "Not me." And with that, Hugh walked out, leaving Brooke alone in the mansion, trembling, sobbing, collapsing under the weight of her choices. But little did they know, Nick was already on his way to Los Angeles. Andy had no idea his world was about to be flipped upside down because the secret Brooke feared would destroy everything was about to ignite the most explosive showdown the bold and beautiful world had seen in years. Brooke remained on the floor long after Ridge was gone. Her sobs echoing through the empty Forrester mansion like the aftershocks of an earthquake. Each one reminding her of the devastation she had unleashed with one terrible